in this tutorial we're going to go over the creation of a website. Now, what's fitting is we're releasing a new website called the Tutorial Cloud, and what I thought would be fitting is if we create a website for it. So what we're going to do is create one from scratch. I haven't had any plans so far, haven't really thought it through all that much, so we're just going to start with a blank canvas and see where we go, really. So let me just start by creating a document. Now, this tutorial kind of relies on Photoshop. I mean, it's my platform of choice. A lot of people use Illustrator, but I'm a programmer myself as well, so I generally take a website and then build it using CSS anyway. So I generally try not to use images as much as possible, but I use Photoshop to kind of build a design of the end result, and then from there we'll tweak it and work it so we can build it into a functional template. But the template will go into in a later tutorial. In this one, we're just going to cover the design of the website and a logo and recap at the end. Right, so when I'm creating a website, first thing I do is just create a blank template. Now, in Photoshop, everyone's got their own preference. Personally, I like to keep sort of a canvas size that's roughly equivalent to the normal screen size. So I've opted for 1000 width, 700 height, that's pixels of course, and a resolution of 300 pixels centimetre. This will mean that it's quite a large image size, but as I say, we're going to try and use as little images as possible in the end website, so that shouldn't really be a problem. And you can always scale them down at a later time. Right, what we're going to move on to then is we're going to create a canvas, and first of all we've got to choose a colour scheme. Now, this completely depends on the theme of your website. What you can do is take a look at a swatch. There's plenty out there that you can look at. This one specifically I've got from DeviantArt, and it was created by Digital Phenom. So I'm just going to open it now, and if you look, see, it gives you just a nice example of colours that go well together. Obviously, like I said before, it comes down to what type of website you want to create. Personally, myself, I want to go for something that's quite natural, quite a natural tone. So we're going to be sort of looking in this range here, around the natural tones. So yeah, we've kind of gathered what our colour scheme is going to be, so let's put it into action. Right, so now what we want to do is we want to set a solid background colour. You can have gradients if you want. They're not too hard to code into a working website. Simple enough if you know CSS, but in this instance I want to go for a solid background, and you'll see why shortly. What I want to do is get a nice bluey colour, but something that's not too bright but not too dull. So let's just have a little play around, and we'll find something that we like, and help if I find a paint bucket. There we go. Right, so I mean that's a nice colour. I think that's quite vibrant, so I think we'll stick with that one. What we want to do is go down here and create a new layer. So when you're building a design, it all works on layers, obviously. So what we're going to start off doing is building the background. So I'm going to create a folder called background, and we're going to put both of those layers into it. Right, now we've got the background folder done. You'll see why I wanted a nice blue background. We're going to put some clouds in. Now they're not going to be massively realistic clouds. We don't want to go sort of over the top. I generally find when you're working on a website design, you want to keep it nice and simple, keep it nice and elegant. So let's just start off by just making loads of shapes, all different sort of shapes and sizes, and get loads of layers in there. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to switch over to this move tool, and we're going to move some of these around. So I'm going to put that there, and this one, put this one here. Leave that one there for now. Chuck this big one up here. Move that over here. So I might not be looking too realistic at the moment, but it's the fun of graphic design. You just get to play around, tweak it until you find something that works. And it doesn't quite look in place. Let's that one. This one over here a bit. Why not duplicate the layer? One here, maybe a little higher up. Right, so click off of those, see what we've got. So we've kind of got a cloud structure there, but it's not quite there. So let's just keep playing around till we find a shape that we like. Right, okay, so I think that looks pretty good at the moment. We don't want to make it too complicated, but it certainly stands out. So let's condense all those into one layer. So we'll merge shapes. Right, now I want to rasterize the layer. So now it's just one flat layer. Any changes that you make to the properties of it will apply to that whole area now. But I think it's a little bit too far down, so I'm just going to move it up a little bit. We want it to sort of be a header, but we don't want it to incorporate the whole content area. So, right, I think that looks rather nice for now.